Hey, what's up guys? Chris Lee. So you want to know how to make a song from start to finish? Keep watching this video. Hey, what's up guys? Chris Lee back with another United Destiny Entertainment tutorial video. What I'm going to be doing with this video is basically showing you guys how to make an R&B beat from scratch as well as a song from start to finish. Now, what I'm going to do is basically start with a random idea. I've been trying to play some different chords right now, and I didn't want to take up a lot of time, so I have a general idea of what I want to do with the chords, but everything may or may not flow. It just depends. You kind of got to do these things when you're in the zone. When I'm on camera, it's a little bit different. So if you're new to this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button right now as well as the notification bell so you can get more videos like this in the future. Let's get started. All right, so right now I have a Nexus pulled up. It's a great VST. So the first thing you absolutely want to do is try to get familiar with playing some chords. Now check this out. I've never taken piano lessons. Me playing the piano is basically me sitting down and taking time to learn how to play the piano myself for my music. If you cannot play chords, trust me, you can go inside of the piano roll, right click your instrument and hit piano roll. Once you go inside the piano roll, you can actually go in and click any individual instruments that you may want in general, right? But for you people who can play, or even just a little bit, that's very simple. That's one finger. Now if you take 3-finger chords, if you wanted to make something out of that, or something like that, you know, you just come up with something creative. So for this particular case, this is what we're working with. So now what you want to do next is just take that particular melody that you went ahead and played from scratch and just go in and start adding to it. So what I'm gonna do right now is just go ahead and add another ReFX Nexus plugin. So I'm gonna go to Nexus real quick, and then I'm gonna go down to piano, and I am going to find the grand piano. All right, so once you go ahead and figure out that you got something that you kind of like, again, I don't have any direction, so I'm just gonna try to put something down and go with it. All right, so we are gonna go into half step, and I'm gonna go to pattern 2 and make sure that I put one of those down. I'll go ahead and duplicate pattern 1 for a couple, at least 4 to 8 bars, and then go ahead and put pattern 2. All right. This is the portion where you just kind of want to experiment and see what you can actually do. Now let's try to layer that and see if we play something that we actually like. I would say that that's pretty good to start with, so let's go ahead and run with it. We're going to quantize it and make sure that it's good to go. So let's go ahead and go into our piano roll and just make sure that everything is lined up and ready to go. Maybe a few mistakes. And let's say we can. And let's go ahead and move that back fourth. There we go. Here we go. Now the next thing that you want to do is go ahead and add a kick in there. The kick is really going to give it some, I call it like the meat and potatoes. The kick, the snares, the hi-hats, everything that's going to fatten the beat up. I call it like the meat and potatoes. We'll add like any sub kicks or bass lines later. So I'll show you what I do with the hi-hats. Either I play them from scratch or I just go in, right click, and then I basically fill 4, 2, or 8 steps. I'm gonna go with 2 steps, so this is what it sounds like, fill 2 steps. All right, so that's what it's basically doing right now. So let me show you what I like to do in the process. I'm gonna basically duplicate all those hi-hats. Now what I wanna do is go in and basically pull up the ping pong delay mode, go to echo. I'm gonna go ahead and feed the delay and figure out a delay, the timing that I actually like. I think that's sounding pretty good so far. I'm not sure what you're feeling right now, but I think it sounds pretty good. We'll go ahead and add an 808. I'll go in pattern 6, drag that 808 over. And one thing that I like to do with my 808s is basically go in and adjust my 808s. So I'm gonna go in and adjust the envelope so it basically doesn't have that long sustain or I guess you can say release of the actual frequency, so it doesn't continue to play over and over again. I don't want it to overlap. I want it to stop. So I'm gonna adjust the attack really fast, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut all the sustain down. And I could leave the release at the way it is. In the process, don't overthink the sub kicks or anything like that. You just really need to get to the point to where you can actually make it match the song. As long as it sounds good, it's good. Now, some people out there are tone deaf. Some people do a lot of this, use a lot of sub kicks or bass lines or whatever the case may be, and they think that they're hearing it correctly. And then when they upload it, I'm like, ah, man, I really wish that somebody would have had told him that his sub kicks and his bass lines are completely off. The pitch is completely off. If you can't hear it, always double check and get someone else's approval who actually knows about music and ask them if it sounds good. If it's good, then you're good to go. So I kind of wanted to bend up, pitch bend up. All right, so let's just go in and see exactly what we can have some fun with. I personally like this VST called Synth Master. I don't think a lot of people know about it. It's KV Audio Synth Master Player 330, 331. I personally love what they have. So check this out. If you just grabbed a random instrument, you can make anything happen, just as long as you know how to make it match the song. I'm gonna remember that later. Now check this out. Check this out. That's not my favorite instrument right there, but I can be creative with it. You know why? Because I'm going to take how basic it sounds and I'm going to manipulate it. I'm going to show you how right now. Check it out. Really, really basic, but I hear something. I feel something in myself about it. So what I'm going to do is manipulate the sound. Now check this out. I'm going to play something and then I'm going to go add a bunch of effects to it to kind of make it sound cool. I don't know the direction I'm going, so if I mess up, forgive me. So I'm going to take that particular instrument. I'm going to make sure that it's on its own track, mixer track, which it is. And I'm going to go in and start off with, let's do EQ first. So I'm gonna give it some roll off, take some of the low end out of it, make it a little bit, I'm gonna make it a little bit thinner so I can sit in the mix. And then I'm also gonna roll off some of the high end, the top end, so I can also save some room for some of the clarity that I'm gonna have on top. Another lead, some of the hi-hats, a lot of the instruments that sit where the frequency sits a lot in the high spectrum over, I would say 10K. Next thing you wanna do is go ahead and add a chorus effect. A fruity chorus effects, it already comes inside of the software. Watch what it makes it sound like. Let's see options. It almost gave it like this doubling, expanded effect on each of the notes, which I like that. It's kind of making them spread. They're not hitting as harshly as they was before, and it almost has like a little delayed effect in it. So check this out. What you want to do from there is add, I'm going to skip one of the tracks, and what I'm going to do is just add some reverb. And the reason why I want to add some reverb is because I want to give it some separation, some space from the other instrumentations. Now, I haven't added any compressors or EQs or any type of reverbs or effects on other instruments, but that's okay. I'm just following what my instinct is telling me to do. Now watch this. Now once you decide that, hey, oh, what if you decided that you didn't really like that particular instrument? You just go in and start changing it around. So check it out. That's dope. I like that. So if I decided to change that and keep that, then I can actually keep it. It just depends on whatever you want to do. All right, so said this is what we were going to start with, and we said, hey, I like this. I want to go ahead and start recording this. What I'm going to do in the process is just go ahead and mix some of these instruments real quick. Then I'm going to get ready to bounce it inside of Pro Tools. Once I bounce these instruments and take them inside of Pro Tools, I'm going to start recording some vocals over it. Then after that, I'm going to do a quick little mix and then let you guys check out exactly what it sounds like. So stay tuned. Every song starts to build up. If it's more of your EDM or your techno, they start a certain way, just a few instruments, right? Then they start to die out a little bit to kind of bring down the energy, right? And then they start to build up again to really get everybody jumping and pumping for the song in general, right? But then you have like R&B. R&B starts like really smooth. Sometimes it's just the piano on some ballad stuff. And then when you really want it to hit, you'll add some type of instruments, bass lines, whatever the case may be, hi-hats, leads, guitars, whatever you want to do to basically pick up the intensity of the track to make it sound better. So what you want to do is highlight everything. Once you highlight everything, what I personally like to do is go to export, go to wave, go to file. Once you go to export wave file, it's basically going to bring up wherever you save your beats is going to bring up the wave layout. So you go to your FL Studio. Mine is on my M drive. I'm going to go to wave layouts. I'm going to name this folder, create a folder and name it tank fill, right? And I'm gonna name it with the BPM, and we are at, what are we at? We are at 70 BPM. So tank fill for that folder. Rename it to tank fill 70 BPM. Once we name it to 70 BPM, go ahead and open the folder and just name it tank. Stop. Stop what you're doing. Hit the subscribe button. Don't click off this video. Don't go nowhere else. Hit the subscribe button. Keep watching. It gets good. Keep watching. I try to go with a high quality for it. Let's see. The most important things that you want to have on is HQ for all plugins, and you want to have it disable maximum polyphony, and then alias free TS404, and then at miscellaneous at the bottom you want to have split mixer tracks. That's going to give you the individual wave files for your beat, so you can import them inside of Pro Tools and control them individually, so you can mix and add whatever you want to add to them. And then trim PDC delay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and export that. Boom, it's exporting, it's doing its thing. I'm letting it do its thing. This is really gonna put me in the zone. Now at this point, you really wanna start getting yourself in the zone. I'm kind of more of the R&B type singer that I've been doing this for so long that I don't really need a pen and a pad. So I can make a video right now and completely freestyle the vocals and make it sound like a song that I've been working on for months, right? So I don't wanna waste a lot. The majority of the time, people will take a pen and pad and they'll sit right and brainstorm. That's what I encourage you to do. But if you have a lot of experience, then make sure that you put down your emotions, because I'm the type of guy that when I write songs, I don't really have to create a lot of stuff. A lot of things have happened in my life. I'm the type of guy that if you tell me your story, then I can turn your story into a song. So I'm just aware of my surroundings. I'm aware of very in tune of the things that I have been through in my life, very in tune with my emotional side. So when I'm thinking about a song to write, I just picture what I've been through in my head or what somebody else been through, and I come up with a creative scenario in my head, and I'm just able to go in the studio and just create vocals and start singing right then and there. I usually don't have to have a pen and a pad at all. And that's just the truth. But again, that's with years and years and years of experience. So now that I got this exported, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. We'll close this out because I don't need this anymore. And I'm going to right click and run Pro Tools as administrator. Try to run all your programs as administrator. I think it takes away a lot of the issues that you may have with your software is crashing or running particular plugins and things like that. If you run it as administrator, you usually won't have those issues. That's just what my experience. Now, let's talk about some of the gear. You have plenty of, I can use any type of microphone. I can go with a dynamic microphone, a SM7B, which I can grab here in a second, or I can grab, record with a Neumann microphone, which is up there, which is probably one of my favorite, or the ST69. This has been my go-to microphone for a lot of my recordings as well as my clients. I don't think they sell these things anymore, but this is a beautiful sounding microphone. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is make this 48, and I'm gonna open up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna create a session from template because that's what I have. I tend to save a lot of my templates. So make sample rate 48 and my bit depth 24 because that's what I saved my beats or my instrument, my wave files for my instruments for. All right, so you wanna make sure that you open up or create your session with 24-bit if that's what you exported it out of in FL Studio. If you exported that 16-bit, then open it as that. If you exported that 24-bit, then do that same thing with the sample rate. For me, the sample rate matters the most. So if you open it, if you saved it at 44.1, 48K kilohertz or whatever inside of FL Studio, and then you try to import it in Pro Tools at 44.1, the playback speed is going to be different than what you saved it as inside of FL Studio, which means it's going to change the pitch of the actual instrumentation. Don't do that. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to find me a folder that I record in, Chris Lee Sessions, and let's say tank, fill. I couldn't name it anything that I want to name it. So I'm just going to open it up right now, boom, which is doing. And I'm going to make this wide. I'm gonna go ahead and go to import audio. I'm gonna navigate to my actual files that I have. So my M drive. And once I import, see my FL Studio chapter beat, wave layouts, and we're gonna go down to the tank fill. Now, highlight everything that you want to import except the current and except the master because you won't need that. Copy those files over. The sample rate and the destination sample rate matches both at 48 kilohertz. And I'm going to use current folder and I'm going to hit OK. It's going to create new tracks. And let's go ahead and play that and see if it imported correctly. Voila, there it is. Sounding amazing right now. All right, guys, so you can actually hear what I sound like talking inside of the microphone. I'm gonna get ready to record some vocals. I got a little bit of EQ, some compressor, some delay, some reverb on there. If I absolutely have to put any other effects, then I'll go ahead and do that. All right, guys, so now that we got everything set up, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Like I said, you may hear me make a lot of mistakes. I don't have any direction. I don't have anything written right now, so I'm gonna have to kind of freestyle this off the top of the head, and I'm gonna be recording piece by piece, but I promise you, you will love the final product, so stay tuned. You wanna make sure that your audio levels are right. You don't want your levels to be too loud or too low. Signal to noise ratio is very important. So make sure that your vocals aren't too loud because you don't want any distortion. And if they're too low, you don't want to be recording more of the room noise than the actual vocals going into the microphone. So make sure that your vocals are loud enough to where they're not distorted, but not too low to where you're picking up more of the room tone, okay? So now at this point, what you want to do is just kind of come up with a quick concept, even if you just said words. So if I said something about time, then I will make a song about me and a girl losing time. I'm tired of waiting around for her. You know, she can't choose between me and another guy. So I'm at the point to where I just want to move on. You know, or if it's about love and her never finding another guy like me, then I would say that in the song. You would never find another guy like me, the one who would treat you right, love you right, be with you, whatever the case may be. You just, however you would talk to somebody, or however you would want to tell your story, that's what you sing about, okay? You will never find another like me. You will never find another like me, oh. You will never find another like me. Say you will never find another like me. All right, so say if I like that, just that beginning portion of it, you will never find another like me. Let's check it out. Let's hear it. Say you will never find another like me. Say that's pretty good. Say that's pretty good. Say you will never find another like me. Okay, so once you get to the point where you actually record something that you like, then you just continue, okay? Say you will never find another like me, oh. Said you would never, yeah. So if I wanted to add a little harmony on that, then I'll add it. Said you would never, softer. Said you would never, a little more vibrato. Said you would never, All right, so what I would like to do is sing a particular note if I like it. If it's something that's a bass, then I just record the basses and then I go back and try to record everything perfectly. It doesn't have to be perfect right away. A lot of y'all try to be perfectionists and try to record an entire verse. I personally don't do that. I record pieces of my verse to where every note is on point, and then I go and start building from there. You don't have to try to be a perfectionist. For you to get your shit together. For you to wanna be together. So say if I just wanted to keep that particular portion of it, then I'm gonna keep that particular portion of it, right? And what would I want to do with that? I will probably want to add some harmonies to that particular piece. Now, of course, it's not going to be perfect right now. That's not my goal. My goal is to kind of let you guys hear and see how I go through the process. For you to want to be together. So what I would normally do is go in and basically fill in those lyrics, okay? So check it out. For you to get your shit together. So what could I say in between that? For you to get your shit together. Time is running out. I'm about to move on. Move on. I'm gonna move on. So I want to treat that as background vocals. So you don't want to try to treat it like a lead. You just kind of want to let it sing softly with no particular trying to be a lead. Just be soft. Time is running out. I'm about to move on. Time is running out. I'm about to move on. Another one, dub it. Check it out. It's not perfect. Like I said, I'm just putting down ideas. Check it out. The harmonies is fat. Time is running out. I'm about to move on. That's how I record some fat harmonies. Time is running out. I'm about to move on. Because I can't wait for you. Because I can't.
Say you will never find another like me. Never find another. Said you would never, said you would never. Girl, I can't believe that you're going through it. You're acting kinda shady. For you to get your shit together, time is running out. For you to wanna be together, I'm about to move on. I gotta let you know, because I'm not the man that hurt you. I'm not the one that did you wrong. Girl, I'm not the one. And although you've been through it, girl, I waited too long. Girl, you're not the only one damaged. Girl, you're not the only one damaged. Girl, you don't know. Girl, you're not the only one hurting. I guess you can't see that I'm still. I guess you can't see that I'm still healing. Do you gotta put me through it, baby? Why? I guess you wanna see me go on without you.
Guys, so that was it. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I'm gonna have more videos like this coming in the future. I really hope that you guys enjoyed my process of making a beat and a song from start to finish. That's usually how I do it. Now, of course, I can have a lot more details to go in it, but I just couldn't do all that in this video. I hope that you guys actually got what I was trying to do, and you guys will be subscribing and coming back for more. Appreciate you watching. Make sure you share this video. Peace.
And although you've been through it,